Hey guys, good evening everyone. Welcome back to my channel. This is Miss Jaydee for another episode of our daily stock market insights. Today is March 16th around 11:41 p.m. Manila time. So if this is the first time you're watching my video, I do review stocks in the Philippine market, sometimes the US market, and in some occasions I do check out cryptocurrencies as well. So if this is the type of video you want to watch every single day, feel free to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you're always updated. Okay, so let's get started and let's cover, of course, the index and some of the highly traded stocks for today. Okay, now I'd like to start with, of course, the good news. We had some foreign buying that happened today, amounting to 23 million, with 0.09% increase in the price. We're now at 7,026 level. So let's also check out the uh, categories that really moved forward today. So we had some, of course, 119 stocks that advanced or they ended green today with 59 decliners. Overall, um, well, majority of the stocks are really increased. As we stayed flat, so it's less than a percent decline for the um, financials or financials, and of course the property sector, but that's still flat over here. We had some foreign buying that happened, foreign selling for property. So let's deep dive in terms of technicals. Okay, so let's do analyze the chart of the trending stocks. Meanwhile, for in the index, um, at the moment, okay, I just want to plot this trend line over here. We are still in a downtrend, but it's nice to see our index recovering. At the moment, we are still within this range, doing lower highs and lower lows. But if tomorrow we break out of that and we see some more movement to the upside, then the next area to watch out for would be your MA20 line. As you can see right here in my Bollinger Band, our MA20 is seated around 7,242. So what does that mean in case our index continues to increase in price? Well, basically, the major companies, which is around 30 plus companies that comprise the index, will most likely have a good performance. But we have to deep dive and check out each one to really understand, because it's not representative of all uh, the stocks in the index. Okay, but at least we have the overall health of the Philippine economy, seeing how the index is performing. Okay, so once again, we are seated at a resistance area in a downward channel. But what we're anticipating tomorrow is we want to see this continue and break this channel, and then from there we can say, okay, we have broken out of that downtrend resistance, right? So there's one request here from one of our viewers, because yesterday I was reviewing REIT companies. So technically they are under the property sector. So I gave my insights and identified which REIT company that I am interested in. And there's another one that was requested. So it's FL. Hold on. Comment. FI. FIL. Sorry. FILRT. Okay, so for this, this is for FILINVEST, a very popular and very known developer in the country, FILINVEST. Uh, so at the moment, we had some foreign selling, but for long-term investors, guys, this is still within the area of your support. So at the moment, this is, or I'm seeing 7.06 as a support level. So if you want to start buying in tranches or do so, if you want to do test buys, this is a good area, especially for position traders or long-term investors who don't really mind sitting on this particular stock for an extended period of time. This is a very promising entry point. Okay, so anywhere from 7.06 to 710 is an okay level. At the same time, if you are to look back, because this REIT company just started in August of last year, so we're not done with the entire full circle for a full calendar year as of yet. But look at the potential of this company. In less than a year, it has already given 3 rounds of dividends. So I'm thinking this is going to give us a quarterly, yeah, right? Quarterly incentive through the dividend. So 0.11, if I'm to 0.11, okay, hold on. 0.11 times 3, so that's already 0.33. Let us say we have another round before the year ends. It's 0.44. And let us say you entered somewhere at 7.06. So divided by 7.06, that gives you a 6.2% dividend yield. So the last 0.11 is just a speculation. I'm just assuming that what if it gives out dividend 4 times a year at 0.11 and then you enter at this level, then that gives you a 6.2%. Here's what's interesting. Let's say you're going to stay long in this stock. I mean, when I say long, you want to invest and just put your money there and let it sleep. And then in the future, the company becomes very profitable, and it will not just give you 0.11 each quarter. Let us say it gives you 0.25, right? So 0.25 times 4, because every quarter it is going to give out. So that gives you 1. And because you entered at 7, that means your yield each year is around 14%. So that's the beauty of dividend and capital appreciation. So if you're able to enter at a cheap level, at the same time the company is profitable because they have strong fundamentals, then that's a win for you. Okay, so that's for FILRT. Now let me take a look at the highly traded stocks for today. Wow, ICT, which is still a very strong company, ended red today. Let's find out and check out their chart. Well, this one has a dividend March 15th, so it's done. X-date is done. So whoever is interested and would like to take advantage of the dividend, guys, you're already excluded. Okay, so the requirement is you enter before March 15th, and then the very first minute of the 15th, the system should see that you have a position for the stock. Otherwise, you're not included. So if you decide to enter on the 15th, then you're also excluded. Next, let me take a look at the chart. Okay, so we had a slight overshoot, right, in the past 2 days. Today we did a gap up, started here, probably moved up here, and then last minute they took profit. But I still consider this as a tolerable overshoot at the MA20 line. So let us see if this is just a healthy pullback for our ICT over here. This has to sustain. Otherwise, let me just remove this diagonal line. I'm plotting our support at this level, 211. So based on the previous day's candlesticks, 210.69 to 211 would be the nearest support. A reason for saying that is because I see these 2 days we had a drop and then we bounced right away. If you look further to the left, you also see these days whereby each time that price level gets hit, you have some, jump or uh, bounce that's happening. And you have to also remember that a previous resistance, once a stock price goes up and breaks that resistance, your previous resistance will become your support, which is the case right here. Okay, so at one point, these areas were hit, being a resistance, and then we're just revisiting that. Overall, you have this foreign buying, even though it was a red, you had some foreign buying that happened today. So anywhere, hopefully it, intraday, like what happened here, a long wick that touched the 210 and then bounce before the market closes. That would be an even better scenario. For now, I'm plotting our support at 210. All right, 210.69. It's an area, guys, so you have to understand that it could be slightly higher or lower because we're not perfect. By the way, my profile, I am more of a mid to long term investor, and I my insights are based on my profile, which I do this on the side. I have a main um, job, which is really my focus. I only do this on the side. So in the event my stocks or my positions dip, even if that's a huge amount, I'm still okay because I don't rely on my income in the stock market as my main source of revenue. So you have to also understand that my POV or my perspective is based on that background. So if you're doing this full time and you rely on your trading income, then there it is a must that chances are you will have to look at the faster time frame. Okay, chances are you have to spend more time on the screen monitoring your stocks, right? Um, because uh, volatility, But for me, I would prefer looking at a daily chart. Sometimes I even expand it to a weekly chart because I'm okay to stay in these positions for weeks or even months and years. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Now let's take a look at BDO. Okay, BDO, you had your green on the 15th. On the 16th, we somehow experienced a slight difficulty breaking this level, which is understandable because that's your resistance in the short term. This is where your MA20 line is seated. Um, but hey, you have some foreign buying, so hopefully with some good volume, hopefully we have good volume that will pick up and we break out of this MA20 line, then that now becomes an uptrend, right? This used to be a resistance right here and resistance here too. So again, that could mean something. In the event a pullback happens, then try to catch it right at the 123.20 area, right? For those long-term investors, hopefully you have this stock still in your portfolio because March 9th was the X date, and come the 31st you will receive your 0.30 per share. It depends on how many shares you have in your portfolio. Just multiply it. Now next, let's take a look at Converge. Oh, nice one, Converge. You have some foreign buying right here, and for me, this is a confirmation, guys, with a green engulfing candlestick, which means this ended much higher than the previous one. At the same time, yeah, we are within the lower Bollinger Band, meaning we're inside the Bollinger Band. So I am thinking a good picture right here would be a breakout of this downtrend channel. But just in case, there isn't much volume, just use the 2247 as your support. But really looking good. We're slightly above the average. The cloud that you see is the average volume day on day. And today's performance actually started from the previous day to today. We have a slightly higher volume. That means um, people are showing interest in the stock and they're going back. They're reinvesting at this level. See this? This used to be an important area as well. So 2247, guys, is the support. Hopefully, the high volatility will allow you to enter at a very cheap level. So RCR is the fourth stock. We are still respecting our support area, and we are still within that range. I think I also discussed this last night. Foreign selling is still there, so you just have to watch out, because sometimes if we spend too much time at the support area, chances are it breaks, there's a breakdown in the price. So still continue to monitor, but the best view, or like what I mentioned in the past, the best validation here is when I see that first candlestick come out somewhere at the support area. And of course I have to take a look at the volume. I want to see that volume with that green candlestick. So that's the most ideal picture that I see. For now, 7.11 is our support. And yeah, RCR, they started back in September, and it's already the second time they have released a dividend. So your call. Overall, REIT companies for me are really nice. It's a good innovation to involve potential stockholders or investors in this kind of model. At least for those people who are interested in building up a leasing company, or they want to uh, build or construct their own buildings or houses to have it rented. You don't have to deal with that anymore. Let the pros take care of that, and all you got to do is just, with the power of your money, invest, sit down, sit back, relax, and then wait for every quarter, or x times a year to receive your share in terms of dividend, in the form of dividend. Okay, so I think really something to monitor in the days to come. REIT companies, and now we also have solar in the energy sector. A REIT company whereby solar farms or renewable energy is used as the main source of revenue of the businesses renting a property. Okay, so let's talk about Ali, because for the longest time, Ali has, well, this has declined. Well, it did recover, and then very quickly it dove south. So right now we are slowly recovering. Support is seated at the 34 area. You have your green, but my ideal view here is that, okay, so this is your, let us say this is your downtrend channel. Ganyan siya. So you have to take note of that. So it could either drop here at the 34 level, stabilize first, and then the moment it breaks that downtrend channel, could be right here, or babalik pa siya dito, and really go slow right here, and then break out. That's your that for me is a good entry. But the nearer you are to the 34 level, the better. We just don't know if that will happen within the week or so. But two ways to look at it: go back to the support area, enter right there, or wait for a breakout of the downtrend. Then you may enter. Overall, Ayala, for long-term investors, this is still a very good company. Okay, and it's just starting to recover. You still have a very good upside here, because we're still at a very cheap level, and at one point this stock has reached what, this area, the 52 level. Okay, so there you have it, guys. I've shared my thoughts, plotted support and resistances, and made recommendations on how to deal with these stocks. Hopefully you were able to get some insights right there, but at the end of the day, please do study, because your profile is not necessarily the same as my profile. So whatever I'm saying here right now could be a totally opposite on what your risk tolerance is. Okay, in the meantime, I do appreciate your time, and hopefully you subscribe to my channel so that you are always updated whenever I have new one, which happens every single day, by the way. Okay, thank you guys. Bye bye for now.